drama of athletic competition. East World, 4 gifts. I hope you like them. Fortnite is turning RTX on. Now Minecraft and Fortnite, the #1 and #2 most played games in the world, have RTX on. Fortnite will get ready. I can't wait to see a Fortnite concert with RTX on. Trailer for you. Let's play it now.
Y vamos el HD. Lejos nada más. Pues bueno, de hecho ya se ven los reflejos, pero no se ven tan
75% of Geforce gamers play esports. Example, the opponent is traveling at 15. A typical gamer has a reaction time of 150 milliseconds from photon to action. You can only hit this opponent if your PC adds less than 30 milliseconds. Most gamers have latencies far greater than 30 milliseconds, many up to 100 milliseconds. Today we're announcing a new esports technology called nvidia Reflex. nvidia Reflex optimizes the rendering pipeline across CPU and GPU to reduce latency by up to 50%. In September, we're releasing Reflex with our game-ready driver. Over 100 million GeForce gamers will instantly become more competitive. Valorant, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone, and Destiny 2 will be the first to integrate Reflex technology.
Escuchamos.
Esports pros and enthusiasts strive for zero latency. For you, we're announcing an insanely fast and beautiful display. A 360 Hz G-Sync display designed for esports. This display has a built-in precision latency analyzer. Acer, Alienware, ASUS, and MSI. We've made a video comparing gaming on a 60 Hz, 144 Hz, and 360 Hz display. You can see immediately how 360 Hz display will help you target and track an opponent. For the 20 million live streamers, we have
ahorita ya están
something really
subiendo las
cool
acciones de
NVIDIA
Nvidia
Broadcast
un
turns any room
4%.
into a broadcast studio. NVIDIA Broadcast runs
Están
AI
en los
algorithms trained by deep learning on NVIDIA's DGX
555.63
supercomputer,
centavos.
one of the most powerful in the world.
Una acción.
Effects like audio noise removal,
Una acción,
virtual
obviamente.
background effects, whether graphics or video, and webcam
no me
auto
alcanza para
framing
comprar.
is a virtual camera person tracking.
De hecho, ya va para
Will now show you
Jensun
NVIDIA
Juan.
Broadcast.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon and I'm very excited today to talk to you about our NVIDIA Broadcast app. Like many of you, I've been home a lot more lately. I've been video conferencing all day and then gaming and streaming all night. And I have a very basic webcam microphone
Están
setup.
hablando del
NVIDIA Broadcast
software
makes these
de
things removal. So I've asked my girlfriend to join me with a blow dryer here. And that distracting sound makes it very hard to understand what I'm saying. But when I turn on noise removal in NVIDIA Broadcast, you find that it's completely gone. And that blow dryer is still going. But NVIDIA Broadcast isn't just awesome audio features. There's some really exciting video features as well. Let's take a look. First up, we have the ability to blur your background, which you may notice that I need
que de
because I have a
hecho
very
ya
cluttered
tiene
and
esta
messy room.
tecnología RAW,
When I turn this background
no
blur to high and
tenga
everything in between.
incluido
Or,
la
if I
GPU,
want, I can
está
actually
muy
replace the background
interesante.
altogether.
Pero ve, ahí es lo que voy a lo que te digo.
Now I'm in a space station with the
No hay
magic of
mejoras
AI.
sustanciosas, solo
Is
le
that easy?
mejoran al software.
Or,
le
if I
cargan
want to jump into some gameplay, I can remove the background altogether
O sea,
and jump into some Valorant. And now I'm playing with a green screen effect without actually having to have one at home.
Ya no vas a necesitar cromas.
I don't have to play good, but at least I can look good.
pues eso ya lo hace
Now, sometimes when I'm
Snapchat.
video conferencing or doing a just chatting stream, a feature, it's like having your own personal cameraman that follows you wherever you go.
Ya.
So, if for example, I wanted to reach over and grab my cool Valorant hat
Auto frame, no bueno.
and show it to everybody, it follows me every step of the way. I just find NVIDIA Broadcast to be really exciting, as both a streamer and as someone who works from home. The
Pero
ability to remove distracting noise,
eso del
improve your
chroma
background,
sí, del-
and keep
no
yourself
sé
in the
si le
center of the frame
afecte a
are
la-
all awesome features.
Form of art has emerged from
No,
gaming
porque ya
called
tiene, solo le metes más
most are shorts. Some are
y
even
puedes hacer más
recreating
cosas,
entire
pero
classic
no va a
movies.
mejorar realmente
It's
tu
becoming
juego.
a whole new art genre. Today,
O sea, ya
I'm
ahorita
going
lo
to
que
show you
hace
an app that will
con
make
el
these cinematics
RTX,
amazing. It's
¿ven?
called
El
NVIDIA
RTX,
Omniverse Machinima.
pues nada más le metes otro
It's an app
procesador
built
para
on
que
our
te haga todo lo
Omniverse
demás.
3D workflow
O sea, no
collaboration
hay mucho
platform.
mejor.
Omniverse is a universal design tool asset exchange with a viewer based on photorealistic path tracing. The engine is designed to be physically accurate, simulating light, physics, material, and artificial intelligence. We have connectors for most third-party design tools, like 3ds Max, Maya, Photoshop, Epic Unreal, Rhino, and many more. The Machinima app brings in elements and assets from games and third-party collections like TurboSquid
Va a haber
and lets you mix
una
and compose them
aplicación
into a cinematic. at high fidelity physics like particles and fluids. Make materials physically
Esto le va a dar
accurate.
mucha,
And then when
mucha,
done with your composition and
mucha,
mixing, render film
mucha
quality
levantada al
cinematics with your
contenido de
RTX
los
GPU.
streamers.
NVIDIA Omniverse Machinima. Beta in October. Sign up at NVIDIA. You're going to love this.
O sea, vas a poder crear, vamos a poder crear prácticamente cine en nuestras propias computadoras. O sea que ahora vamos a ver contenido de storytelling hecho por NVIDIA, bueno, hecho con procesadores NVIDIA en GPU.
For 40 years, since NVIDIA researcher Turner Whitted first published his paper on ray tracing, computer science researchers have chased this dream intense efforts over the past 10 years to realize real-time ray tracing on a large scale. At SIGGRAPH 2 years ago, we announced the NVIDIA RTX.
Estoy transmitiendo
Now,
en
2
vivo
years
a
later,
YouTube.
RTX starts with a brand new GPU architecture, but it is so much more.
De hecho,
It
apenas estoy
includes new
organizando
engine
cómo
tech
se
and a
ven.
bunch of new 3D tools. RTX tech is incorporated into all major game engines. There are hundreds of games in development and thousands of research papers of new rendering and AI algorithms enabled by RTX. The RTX GPU has 3 fundamental processors. The programmable shader that we first
¿Ya
introduced
ves lo que
over
te digo?
14
Metes
years ago,
otro.
processing pipeline
Sí,
called Tensor Core.
lo desafiante
Tensor Core
es
accelerates
que
linear
los
algebra that
algoritmos
is
y
used
la
for deep neural
ingeniería,
network
la
processing, the
microingeniería,
foundation
ya
of
que
modern
de hecho ya es
AI.
nanoingeniería,
AI is the
haga
most powerful.
los,
The advances are
nosotros
nothing
lo
short of
vemos
breathtaking.
ya
NVIDIA is doing groundbreaking
en
work
las
in this
imágenes,
area.
¿no? Y
You might
se
have seen our
traducen
work in
en
self-driving
frames
cars and robotics. Computer
por
graphics and
segundo.
gaming will also video is a generative adversarial network that has learned to synthesize virtual characters of any artistic genre, including photorealistic. Second is a neural network
¿Quieres
that
está bien para el
animates a
diseño?
3D
O sea,
face
sí te puede
directly from
servir.
voice.
Es más,
You
ya
Sí, para
para
diseño.
more Vespine gas.
los arquitectos,
It's
le puedes
dangerous to
poner
go
una
alone.
gate.
Third is a character locomotion of infinite number of positions. Imagine negotiating arbitrary paths and obstacles.
La física ya se ve mejor.
The fourth is
Esto está padre.
This one is
Ese
a
¿Cómo están?
finally, this deep learning model fully rendered. We can achieve orders of magnitude speedups. AI is certain to play a giant role in the future of computer graphics and gaming.
El de
The powerful tensor cores in RTX
Física,
GPUs will let us do
video a
AI in real time.
3D y
One of the first major
la
AI
inteligencia
computer
artificial
graphics
para predecir
breakthroughs
los píxeles
is
muertos está muy bien.
DLSS. Here's the challenge. Real-time ray tracing
De
is
hecho, ese
far
es
more beautiful, but requires a lot more
el
computation
miedo
per
que se
pixel than
tiene
rasterization, to a higher
esta
resolution and boost
tecnología,
frame rate.
pero obviamente ellos
DLSS
tienen
took nearly
gráficos
2 years of
AMD,
intensive research.
pero
We built a
Nintendo va a
supercomputer
traer
to train a network.
Nvidia en su
The
siguiente
DLSS
entrega
model
de
is trained on
Nintendo Switch. No
extremely
sabemos si va a ser un
high-quality
Pro o va a ser un
16K
rediseño,
offline
pero
rendered
pues
images
que
of many
una
kinds of content.
consola
Once trained, the model is downloaded
semiportátil
into your driver. At
traiga
runtime,
esta
DLSS
tecnología
2.0
Nvidia
takes in low resolution, aliased image and motion
en
vector of
tus
the current
manos,
frame, and the
va
high
a darle
resolution previous
un
frame
salto
to generate
importante
a high resolution current
a
frame.
Nintendo y a
I
Nvidia.
think DLSS is one of our biggest breakthroughs
Se
in
ve
the
muy
last
bien
10
para
years, 4K, and created detail from AI that native rendering didn't even show, and the frame rate is higher.
No, pues, se ve
Reviewers have loved
¿no?
DLSS 2.0.
Renderización que les estaba diciendo, pero ahora es una renderización 4K, no
4K.
Let's
manches.
look at one frame trace of a game to see the processors of
Estábamos
RTX
en el
action.
2, ya se saltó al
Adding ray
4K
tracing to
ahora.
games dramatically increases the computation workload. Using shaders to do ray traversal and object intersection reduces the
Sí,
frame
lo
rate.
que decía
We
Joshua,
added the RT
que
core,
ya
which
va a
reduces
haber nada
shader
más una
workload by
parte dedicada al ray
65%.
tracing. Ya no va a ser
RT core
o sea,
offloads the
en las
shaders,
dos.
but effectively a 34 teraflop shader. And Turing has an equivalent of 45 teraflops while ray tracing. Even with RT core, the amount of time consumed is significant. So RT core and shaders have to run concurrently. Even then, 20 milliseconds is only 50 frames per second, and still a step back in performance relative to previous generations. This is where the Tensor Core and DLSS
Y
come.
hasta
Now
da
you can
miedo,
get
¿no?
ray
Todo el
tracing,
avance de la
get high
tecnología.
resolution, and high frame rate at the same time.
Sí,
That's the
tanto con
magic
esto
of
de
the
la
three processors
lo
of
que está haciendo este
RTX.
Tesla.
Turing was our
Ok.
first generation RTX GPU, combining ray tracing,
Los tres
programmable
procesadores,
shading,
el de
and AI.
renderizado,
The flagship Turing
el
had
de
a ton
video
of processing
y el de
power.
ray.
11 shader teraflops, 34 RT teraflops, and 89 tensor teraflops. Let me show you our new RTX GPU. Ampere is a giant leap in performance. Ampere does doubles ray triangle intersection
Adiós,
throughput.
corajes, di.
Ampere's RT core delivers 58
Ahora sí ya podrás ver
RT
cómo explota
teraflops
tu cadáver
compared to
cuando te
Turing's
matan.
34. Process the sparse network at twice the rate of Turing.
No
238
manches.
tensor flops compared to 89. Ladies and gentlemen, built on Samsung
28
8 next to Micron's
un
new
proceso
G6X, the
de
fastest
Samsung
memories ever made.
a medida.
The days of just relying on transistor performance scaling is over. Yet Ampere is an incredible 2 times the performance and energy
3D
efficiency of Turing.
shaders.
At NVIDIA, we use every engineering lever to squeeze every drop of performance out of the system. From architecture, custom process design, circuit design, logic design, packaging, custom SerDes I/O, memory, power, and thermal design.
En el armado
Billions of
de,
dollars.
bueno, en la creación
Full stack
de la
engineering
GPU.
and extreme craftsmanship is the hallmark of our GPUs. Our performance, energy efficiency, and low power are all world-class. And real application performance highlights Ampere's new RT core. The more ray tracing is done, ray tracing is processed photorealistic real-time graphics. It was running on our highest-end Turing Quadro RTX 8000. Turing was doing 720p, 25 frames, more special effects, and it is running at 1440p, 30 frames per second, over 4 times the performance.
Juego de las canicas. Vean esos brillos. Esos reflejos más bien.
Sí, los reflejos están hermosos y la intensidad de luces y el cambio de luz en esto le va a dar un levantón increíble a las películas animadas, ¿eh?
No rasterization,
Anime.
no lights. No pre-baking, everything is dynamic.
También.
The depth of field is film quality and beautiful. Everything is dynamic. Diffuse volumetric rendering in real time.
Es que, wow, se ve bonito.
DLSS 2.0 is doing the super resolution and AI denoising.
Del CEO
Ajá.
de Jen Sung Huang.
20p, 25 frames per second. Marbles in Ampere runs at 1440p, 30 frames per second, more than 4 times the performance. And Ampere even, this is like 50,000 songs or 400 hours of streaming video. Games have pushed PC I/O and file systems to the breaking point. CPUs copy files from disk and decompress the game image. This is fine when the storage system was slow, 50 to 100 megabytes per second. Now with Gen 4 PCI Express and solid-state drives, PCs can transfer data at 7 gigabytes per second, 100 times faster. CPU copying data to memory and decompressing game
Eso sí
images
van a
venir
is
ya
another
los-
bottleneck.
Ya vienen los nuevos
Decompressing data from
SSDs
100 megabytes per second hard drives
comprimidos,
takes only a few
compresos.
CPU cores.
Pero son
However,
para
decompressing
PCI,
from
¿no?
7
Está
gigabytes
bien.
per second SSDs on PCIe
Aún
Gen
así.
4 takes
PCI,
over
ajá.
20 CPU cores. Loading and streaming directly from
Casi
SSD to
7.
GPU memory. GPU lossless decompression and collaboration with
Ve, no
Microsoft on
manches.
direct storage for Windows.
¿Qué?
That
Con
streamlines
la
the
mitad de
transfer of
uno
data
hace
from
todo eso.
storage to GPU. Picking up where you left off
Carga
will be instant.
instantáneamente.
This is a very big deal for next generation gaming. Let me show you Ampere in action in one of the most anticipated ray trace reflections, diffuse illumination.
Chulada hasta el humo.
Iluminación difusa.
Uy, parece una película, ¿así?
Sí. DLSS. Double LSS.
Ladies and
De
gentlemen,
los creadores de
our
Witcher
new
3,
flagship
chicos.
GPU, the NVIDIA GPU powered by Ampere.
Si te quejabas que el Fortnite pesaba
Esto es la historia,
historia.
de las
los capacitores cuadrados.
1.9 performance de mejora. Tercera generación de núcleos tensores. 58 Ray Tracing Teraflop.
Nuevo diseño termal para el camino. Dual.
Es dual, es correcto. 55% más flujo de aire.
Y hay uno arriba y otro abajo. Para tener aire fresco por todos lados.
Ventiladores push y pull independientes. Ultra compacta. No, bueno, ya se había filtrado.
Está súper mamadísimo,
The nvidia
Sí.
RTX.
Ahí está el conector de 12.
3080.
Exactamente
I
en
have one
medio.
right here. Let me show you.
Hijo de su aire.
La tuvo escondida toda la
It is
presentación.
beautiful.
No la vimos.
Look at this. The RTX 3080.
Está grandísimo.
Como 30,
Now,
40
let me tell you
centímetros.
about some of the other exciting technologies inside. Turing used G6, the fastest memories at that time.
Y se prende.
The industry
exactamente.
thought that was the worst signaling. Pulse amplitude modulation, with 4 voltage levels that encode 2 bits of data each, 0001, 1011. Each voltage
Al mismo
transmits
tiempo.
twice as much data as
Bueno,
G6.
niveles, ¿no?
Speed networking. The Ampere thermal architecture is the first ever flow-through design, working harmoniously with PC chassis cooling
Es lo que-
system air directly through
El problema es que le va a estar
Our
aventando,
engineers
lo
architected
calienta el
super
procesador.
dense
Necesitas un
PCB design
ventilador más
that
fuerte
is
para
Sí,
que lo saque.
50%
forzosamente el
adding the bigger
disipador
Ampere
y
GPUs,
forzosamente
HDMI
va a ser una
interface,
burbujota de
the
calor,
bracket
¿para qué
front
te
fan
cuento?
pulls cool air from the bottom and pushes the heated air
A
out
menos
through
de que
the
tengas un
bracket's front
radiador
brackets.
arriba,
A backside
que saque
pull-through
el aire hacia
fan
arriba.
Sí.
passes cool air over
Ligado.
by the system fan. The 3080 flow-through system is 3 times quieter and keeps the GPU 20 degrees cooler than the Turing design. It can cool 90 a
Pues no está tan caro.
Ti flagship GPU, powered by Ampere, our second generation RTX GPU architecture. Incredible amounts of
Dos
processing in the
veces
shader. Price the process.
$300. Sí. Va a costar $15,400.
$1,200.
A ver, déjame ver cómo va el gráfico real.
20 shader teraflops.
$558
teraflops.
ya la acción.
And
Y por el precio acaba de
163
ayer,
is
es la
faster
variación
than
en
the
el precio de la acción de
$1,200
nvidia.
available in October.
En octubre.
Every
Viene a dar en
Every
la
couple
mouse.
is known as the perfect 10. Pascal was a huge success and set a very high bar. It took the super family of Turing to meaningfully exceed Pascal on game performances without ray tracing. Fell far behind Turing's RT core. And Turing with ray performance as Pascal, with ray tracing off. Shadow artifacts are gone. But gamers wanted more time. So we doubled down on it. Ampere knocks the daylights out of Pascal on ray tracing.
Y ya 4K.
And even with ray tracing on, crushes Pascal on frame rate. Developer Treyarch are launching a new Call of Duty on November 13th. It's a masterpiece and it looks incredible. Their dynamic light. Last Call of Duty sold an amazing 30 million copies. Activision put
Vean la
together
textura
this
de la
trailer
mano.
never
No,
before
no,
seen
no. Qué
footage.
cosas.
Enjoy.
Uy, los reflejos en la piel. No, 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 qué cosas.
Several years ago, we started
Ahorita.
building the Titan. It was built in limited quantities and only through NVIDIA. Rendering
NVIDIA.
cinematics. Researchers built workstations for data science and AI. Bloggers built broadcast workstations. Flight and racing simulation fans built sim rigs. There is clearly a need for a giant GPU that is available all over the world. So we made a giant Ampere. Ladies and gentlemen, the RTX 3090.
Ahí viene la Titán.
Hasta
¡Ay,
eso.
no seas payaso!
Alrighty. 3090 is a
Es
beast,
un
a
monstruo.
ferocious
La
GPU, a
bestia.
BF GPU, 36 shader teraflops, 69
Bueno, los
RT
teraflops.
Quitan la tarjeta de video y
It
te
comes
la
with a
avientan en la
silencer,
cara.
a 3-slot dual axle flow-through design,
$1,500.
10 times
Esa sí
quieter,
está.
and keeps the
Esa sí
GPU
está.
30 degrees cooler than the Titan
33,000
RTX design.
pesos.
First time, we can play games at 60 frames per second in 8K. This is insane.
Sí.
Because it's impossible for us to show you what it looks like.
Pues pusieron a la gente a jugar en 8K con Ray Tracing.
Oh my gosh.
The resolution on this is silly. My God. You can see wear and tear on the treads. Look at this. Why is it so detailed? All right. Move fast and shoot things.
This is 8K, sir. I can see everything. Oh, I need to shoot you, though.
Not a whole lot of people have seen something like this.
This is so realistic.
Things. There we go. Dude, the ray tracing is insane on this. These are the sizzle reels that you see.
This is basically hacks.
And then it's like, it'll never look like that. But it does. I'm like looking across the vistas, the grand vistas that are happening right now. Holy shit, look at this. This feels like a Disneyland experience. Oh, it is so smooth. It's butter. Oh, it's smooth as shit, dude. I can't believe it's not butter. I mean, this is game changing. There's no other way to put it.
Con estos audífonos Logitech les dieron, ¿eh? Espero los hayan desinfectado cada vez que se los ponía algo.
Sí.
Graphics. Developers
Parece real,
jumped on
casi
and
real.
invented clever algorithms, like shaders that simulate realistic
Ay, no,
materials,
qué
or
cosas.
post-processing effects for soft shadows,
Necesito conseguir un
ambient
trabajo
occlusion,
ya.
and reflections.
Para
Developers pushed the
comprarme
limits of
esto.
rasterization beyond anyone's expectations. Meanwhile, NVIDIA GPU processing increased a stunning
Creo que se salió
100,000-fold.
cost
Gaming
por
became a
error de red.
powerful technology
Sí,
driver.
hace 6 minutos.
Gamers grew to billions, and gaming pushed
Pues
into
estamos
all
tan
aspects
embobados
of
que
entertainment
hasta hace
culture.
6 minutos sé.
If the last 20
Hace
years
6
was
minutos nos
amazing,
damos cuenta.
the next 20 will seem nothing short
Estoy
of
viendo las
science fiction.
acciones.
Today's Ampere launch is a
Ya
giant
bajó,
step into the
está
future.
en
This is
56,
our
pero
greatest generational leap
mucho
ever.
movimiento en las acciones
The
de
second
Nvidia.
generation NVIDIA RTX, fusing programmable shading, ray tracing, and
Sí,
artificial
es el salto
intelligence,
generacional
gives us
más
photorealistic
importante
graphics and the highest frame
de
rates
Nvidia,
at the same
en la
time.
historia de
Once
Nvidia.
the holy grail of computer graphics, ray tracing is now the standard.
Me pongo del
And
otro
Ampere is going to
porque
bring you joy
ya
beyond
me
gaming.
dio.
NVIDIA Reflex to improve your response time. NVIDIA Broadcast turns any room into a studio. And Omniverse Machinima turns you into an animated film. You're going
Saltote
to feel a boost like never before.
al sector
I can't wait to
diseño
go forward
gráfico,
20 years to see what
arquitectura,
RTX started.
eh,
Homes will have holodecks.
este,
We
todo
will
lo que
beam
es
ourselves through time and
motion
space, traveling at the speed of light,
para
sending photons, not
animación,
atoms.
bueno, películas de
In this
animación,
future,
tanto cortos como
Geforce
largometraje.
at the speed of
Y
light,
obviamente, pues
sending
si vas a comprar
photons,
una
not atoms. In this
nueva
future,
tarjeta de video
Geforce
tamaño
is your holodeck.
monstruo,
Your
pues
Lightspeed
obviamente vas a necesitar
Starship,
un
your
buen
time
hardware
machine.
4K
And to all of
mínimo
our
ya.
fans for celebrating the arrival of Ampere.
Listo, se acabó la confe. 40 minutos. Bye.
Pues,
Muchas gracias a todos por haber.
sí, no importa, pero... Pues, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué te pareció? Muy impactante, ¿no? Sobre todo los precios de la 3080, ¿no? Está muy
La
accesible.
Titan.
Bueno, la Titan,
Está
3090,
súper
sí.
cara, pero un gran salto en el desempeño. Cambiamos arquitectura, hicimos trabajo de ingeniería, hicimos trabajo de disipación del calor, hicimos mejor eficiencia eléctrica, o sea, se mejoró todo. Y ahora dice, pues, digo, si la 2080 estaba con un precio bastante elevado, la 2080 Ray Tracing, lo que vamos a hacer es masificar este salto de GPU. O sea, recortamos el dinero, que es lo que tú habías dicho, que no creía, porque yo pensé que pues van a seguir en la misma línea de las generaciones 2000 del Ray Tracing, donde los precios son impresionantemente altos.
Sí.
Welcome to my kitchen.
Ah, se repitió.
I hope all of you are staying safe.
No sé si estás viendo la transmisión, pero se ve ahí la tarjeta gráfica escondida.
cloud AI to scientific computing.
Sí, la tenía escondida.
It is the gamers
Sí.
and their insatiable demand that is the united to counterstrike the
Pues bueno.
COVID-19 coronavirus power.
Sí, te veo
Hola.
medio. Creo que más tardecito hacemos lo de cada 10.
Dejen su like.
Thank you all for joining.